Welcome everyone to the first ever virtual Voyager showcase. We are so excited to try something new. Obviously, we wish we were all in person and getting to see you, but we wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to celebrate all of the innovative work that you've been doing this year. We want to celebrate and highlight the amazing things and opportunities that you provided for students. So this is YouTube Live. This is streaming live. We're going to have a lot of special guests coming in today. We have some teachers, some administrators. We're hoping to have some additional special guests joining us. We have some amazing raffle prizes to raffle off. So if you have not tweeted yet, get tweeting. And we are so excited to do some live raffles, and then we will do some additional raffles at the end as well. So I am excited to be here. I will be on and off. Again, my name's Jennifer Burks. I'm the Associate Superintendent of Technology and Innovation. And I love seeing Black Mountains here. That's so exciting. Again, we are super excited to have our first virtual Voyager showcase. And again, thank you for being here. You all have been doing amazing things this year. For those of you who joined the Voyager program this year, for those of you who were in last year, it's just been amazing. The transformation that has been taking place, the opportunities to work with each of you and to work with your students, we are honored to be part of that. So without further ado, I am going to just pass off the baton to Lana Nguyen in just a moment. But before I do that, I wanted to share some really exciting and amazing news. Poway Unified and the Voyager program have been nominated and selected as one of 2020 Districts of Distinction, a nationwide program, and we are one of 10 districts that have been selected for the Voyager program and the professional development opportunities which have revolutionized the way students engage with and learn from technology. So that was amazing news that's been shared out recently. So I want to say congratulations to all of you who are in or have been in this program, and for all of you who are going to be joining us in the Voyager program, congratulations. That is an amazing award, an amazing distinction. There is an article that's been shared out in the District of Distinction magazine. So if you have time, take a look at that. And without further ado, I want to bring on the Director of Educational Technology, Lana Nguyen.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Lana Nguyen, and as Jennifer, I want to echo Jennifer's sentiments that we are so excited for our very first virtual Voyager showcase. If you're looking at the live stream, I see some shout outs from all the different schools already. We have Midland, Westwood, Adobe Bluffs, one of our new schools who will be joining us in the fall. Shoal Creek is here. So we're so excited to be able to join this evening. And on our screen today, we have our awesome, amazing innovation coaches. So I want to take a moment for everyone to say hello and introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason. You can find me on Twitter at EdTechSpence. Just happy and excited to kind of be here and see you, even if it's virtually, since I missed all my Voyager teachers.
Hi everyone, it's Lauren Swissman. Oh, hard to pass through. You can find me at Miss Swissman on Twitter, and I love seeing all the work that you've been doing through distance learning and the ability to be able to share that with everyone here on Twitter.
And my name is Amy. Hi, guys. Nice to see everyone. Very excited about this. You can find me on Twitter at amposec_ED. So we're excited to celebrate you and look at all the wonderful things you've done this year.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brenda. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's so amazing to see the Twitter feed already about how much work you've been doing, not only this year, but in moving into distance learning. And if you don't already, please follow me on Twitter and share with me as well at Unexpected Ed.
And I'm still Mike Gizzo. Everybody, super excited to have you all here hanging out and sharing all the good work that we've been doing.
So if you haven't followed our department Twitter, it's at PUSD Innovate, and our Voyager account is also at PUSD Voyager. So throughout the evening, if you hashtag Voyager Showcase 2020, you'll be entered in a raffle, and we'll be announcing some of those winners at the end. We'll email you out, but we'll also announce 2 live winners for any of the Voyager teachers who's been posting from 4 to 4:30. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing those winners throughout the evening. I'm going to go ahead and take it over to Jason so you can get started on today's evening event.
All right. So let me go ahead and bring Laura on. So let's see. Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
This is so weird.
Welcome. So excited that you could join us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Do you mind doing just like a quick intro so everybody knows who you are? And
I am Laura Snow. I teach at Pomerado Elementary School. I case manage kindergarten, first and second graders in an ASD special day class, but my students have shown great success in general education and learning alongside their peers, so much because of Voyager and, you know, changing my life. So there's that.
all right, awesome. Thank you. Getting into that a little bit, I know we don't have a ton of time today, but what has been that biggest shift for you since joining the Voyager program?
I think that, you know, I joined year 2. So Pomerado was a first year implementer. And then one of my awesome team teachers, Paula Allison, was a Voyager year 1 teacher the first year. And so, hey, Paula. And it was really inspiring and amazing to hear teachers talk about reaching each and every student and allowing students to own their learning and to have this conversation happening in general education. Because in special education, I come from, we personalize everything, we individualize everything, we want to support each and every learner in our classroom, but sometimes the connection with gen ed can be a little tricky. And so hearing general education teachers allowing voice and choice for students and personalizing learning and making learning engaging for students was just something that I was like, well, I'm going to have to jump on board and get in on this action. So I joined, and it has been like career changing, life changing, incredible, amazing, all the things. And you as my coach, so you're on this side of the screen for me, but like, I have to point this way. Like, you're amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's like a mirror. I don't know. I can't. Yeah. Wait.
You're amazing.
Thank you. You're amazing as well. I know we don't have a whole lot more time, but do you have any quick tips for teachers during this time? Have you had successes with things, or just advice for people who might be looking for a quick tip, or just some touch base on sanity kind of thing?
Yeah, I think, you know, my biggest piece of advice or suggestion is to just connect with your students, with your people, with your peers. I know it has to be mostly through technology, but find a way to connect with your learners, because that's how you're going to reach them the most. And that's how you're going to create learning experiences that meet their needs and meet their families' needs. And, you know, we're all in this together, and we will get through it. So, you know, just the relationship piece is huge.
Yeah. Awesome. Have you been, I know you've been using Zoom. I know you've been recording things on Loom. Any other, I know I was talking to some teachers and reverting back to like the snail mail, like actually sending mail out to kids. Have you tried anything outside of those, or?
You know, I have been at all of the material distributions that I can make it to. When we've gone to our school, we were able to put things together for students. And so I was a part of that. And I try to be as available as possible. I mean, I have FaceTimed with families at times. You know, sometimes when students are in crisis, like, you do what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
But just meeting one-on-one with kids has been awesome. And, virtually, not in real life.
Yeah. All right. One last one. Any advice for someone who might be joining Voyager this coming year?
Oh, man. Dream big. Dream big, right? Like, you can do it. You can do anything. And your learners can do anything. And you dream big, and you're going to get closer to it, right? You have a plan, and you just dream big. Anything is possible. And the coaches are amazing, and they're going to help you get there. My coach, I don't know, Brenda, helped me work towards my North Star, which I, was very shy to share, my North Star of changing the world. You have helped me reach that. And so even every day, I'm a little bit closer. So dream big.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Laura.
You're welcome.
I hope you get to stick around and enjoy the Twitter feed and the YouTube session. And yeah, awesome. So good to see you.
So good to see you too.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.
All right, so we're going to have our first raffle. So I'm going to bring Lana on, and she's going to tell you what the first prize is.
Hey everyone, so one of our favorite things to do for our showcases is to raffle off some great prizes for our wonderful teachers. And so at 4:15, we're already getting so many tweets, so we're so excited to be able to take all of your tweets, and we're putting you in a random general randomizer. And so we are able to announce our very first winner. And I would like to thank Educators Cooperative for donating a $25 Amazon gift card for our winner today. And our first winner, go ahead, drum roll please from home. Chrisia Cabral is our first winner from Highland Ranch. Congratulations. She's tweeted some of her tweets here. So thank you for tweeting, and we'll be joining in for our next prize a little bit later on this afternoon.
What did she win?
A $25 Amazon gift card donated by Educators Cooperative.
Awesome. Okay. And I'm going to add Amy in to the stream here. So, all right, Amy. So I know that you've been going through some of the tweets, and you found some. Is there any that you would like to share?
I have. I've pulled a few out. There are so many great ones. So we're just going to continue to pull out tweets and highlight them as we go.
Oh, okay.
So I pulled one up right now. This one is from @LaurenLemaster7, and she is a 5th grade teacher at Adobe Bluffs. And through blood, sweat, and tears, we managed to finish this project that she had started, where she created an interactive map where students learned kind of beginning coding, and they used those skills to display the routes of the explorers they were studying. And the people walking by were able to press on a button, and that explorer's route would light up, and then they could scan the QR code, and it would link to the student's project. So within those projects, she was also able to provide voice and choice to students on how they shared information about their explorers. So that was pretty exciting. Another one that I pulled up is from Senora Marisa Plasencia Cortez, and she is at Valley Elementary, and she had her dual language students. What they did is they wrote a poem, and they recorded themselves reading it on Seesaw and drew Mother's Day pictures to go with it. And then she printed out QR codes and had the students decoupage a heart pen. And that's what they gave to their parents, or their moms, excuse me, for Mother's Day. So a great way to kind of take that tech and put it on a keepsake for mom. And another one I pulled up was a project that Mrs. Saha and Mrs. Taggart's class, they teach kindergarten over at Turtleback, and they had an interactive Arctic-Antarctic experience that lasted all day for their students. And it had many different opportunities for students to learn more information about Arctic animals and Antarctic animals. They could do VR goggles. They could take QR codes and scan them to watch different live video of different animals. They were building igloos with marshmallows. They were creating pictures and melting ice to free animals. Lots of experience. It was a really great day and fun was had by all there. So those are just a few of the tweets that are going. So it's pretty exciting to see what all of our Voyager teachers have accomplished this year.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. So we have a bit of time, Amy. So maybe you have a lot of teachers who seemingly totally love you, of course, which is
yay. Well, they are pretty amazing. So
yeah. So so is there anything you'd like to share with the Voyager teachers, since there seems to be a big crowd of yours in here?
Yeah, I would just say it's been amazing working with them. I mean, watching their growth and how they've been able to have such a positive impact on their students and really provide them with opportunities for voice and choice, and really teaching them how to use their voices and drive their learning. It's been exciting. And a lot of these schools, it's become part of the culture of the schools is, you know, taking charge of their learning and feeling just empowered in, you know, utilizing the tech in that journey.
Yeah. So thank you. Awesome. Okay.
Absolutely.
So we're actually going to bring on Mike right now. He's going to share some of the things he's found on Twitter as well, and say something to his teachers. So thanks, Amy, for being on.
Hi, everyone. In just a second, I'll start my screen share. I'll tell Jason when to do that. But first, I wanted to just give a thank you to all the teachers I've been working with, teachers at Black Mountain Middle School, Twin Peaks Middle School, and Poway High School. You all are absolutely amazing. I picked a few tweets that I saw at the beginning that I'd like to kind of share with the whole group from those three schools, and then I'll come back on a little bit later to share more. So Jason, if you could go ahead and share. This tweet's by Danielle Reyes. I'm going to hit play right here. This is from one of her AVID classes. So their students told the story of their learning through Google Sites. Danielle's worked really hard to build out this e-binder concept for kids where they can collect, reflect, and recollect their learning. And it's just an amazing way to integrate technology into the curriculum and give students the chance to really reflect on their learning in a completely new way. So that's a really cool one. I'm going to jump now over to Poway High School. Lauren Hall is a math teacher at Poway High School, and she's been working on adding some student choice into her integrated 1 and integrated 2 math classes. So she's done this tic-tac-toe board that includes a digital escape room, which gives students the opportunity to solve some puzzles. And as they solve puzzles, they get through and get to an answer, and the goal is to kind of escape from the room. And as you can see, they start in the middle, and then they can choose the activities that they want to in order to kind of show the understanding of concept in their learning. The third is Tiffany Dare. Tiffany teaches at Twin Peaks Middle School. I've been working with Tiffany for 2 years, and I'll have to say I've probably learned more from Tiffany than she's learned from me. But as we moved into this distance learning, Tiffany created a virtual classroom. This virtual classroom shares highlights of her school year. She always gives shout outs to everyone, and just a really amazing teacher, and always integrating things that are great for student learning. Jason, that is my share for now.
Okay. Awesome. Anybody want to tell your Voyager teachers who miss you? I mean, it's been what, 2 months? I think. I don't even know.
I think it's been 2 months. So yeah, we've been communicating over email, but we haven't. We've seen each other in a couple PD sessions every few. I do want to. I'll take a moment and thank my kids' teachers, actually, because when we moved to distance learning, the scariest thing to me was having to possibly teach 4th and 5th grade at the same time as working and creating distance learning plans and PDs. So my kids, I have a 4th grade daughter and 5th grade son. that are at Design 39, and their teachers have done a remarkable job making my life a little easier. Jen Faulkner, I miss you too. We can't wait to get back to school sites and back into classrooms with kids. It's going to kind of change everything and bring us back to normal, Mike. But thank you to all of you. I really appreciate everything that you've done. It's not an easy change to make, what you do in the Voyager program, and over a 2-year process, shifting instructional practices in order to really elevate student learning is a hard thing to do. So I'm super proud of all the work that you've all done. So thank you.
Yeah, and I know we're all excited to kind of, I mean, we're hoping we're all on school sites next year and we're doing what we've done for these past few years. But even if it has to be done virtually, I mean, there's going to be a lot of creative ways that hopefully we and our Voyager teachers can take part in that maybe help us grow even more. So thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to bring Lana back on. So we have an interview here in a few minutes with another teacher. So we're waiting for her to come on. She'll be here and we'll talk to her. So Lana, what else can you share about the Voyager program, especially in fall 2020?
Well, first of all, I want to, again, shout out to all the schools who are on right now. I see Sunset Hills, Canyon View, Deer Canyon, Turtleback. And I want to shout, I saw Garden Road. Garden Road's one of our new schools joining in the fall, as well as Stone Ranch, Shoal Creek, and Meadowbrook. So welcome to the Voyager program. We also have a couple of our directors here. We have Carol Osborne, our Associate Superintendent of Learning Support Services, is here. And we're really excited to have everyone join in on our very first virtual Voyager showcase. Before we move on, I do want to, again, next year with the Voyager showcase, we are very excited to have everyone on and excited for us to be here today. So,
awesome. Okay, so actually I have Summer here, so I'm gonna put her on. So she's not surprised when I add her video. So I'm gonna go ahead and add her. And hey, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Well, you know, I've been in my house for 2 months.
True.
So I was telling people that, you know, I'm a bit different than you remember me, because after being in my house 2 months, I just, you know, personality wise, you can't be the same person. So yeah. So hey, can you maybe tell people like who are watching us, like what school you're at, what grade you teach, what subjects, all that?
Yes. So my name is Summer Weintier. I teach 6th grade language arts and social studies at Bernardo Heights Middle School. It is my 3rd year of teaching and my 1st year in the Voyager program, and I've loved it so far.
Awesome. And can you maybe tell us like what inspired you to like apply last year? So I'm sure that like when you got like the email or the flyer, what made you want to kind of apply and be part of Voyager?
I'm always looking for different ways to improve my teaching. So after 2 years of being at Bernardo Heights, I realized that I really just wanted to see more technology in the classroom, see how I can increase student engagement. And I loved hearing about all of the different opportunities to add student voice and choice and the flexible seating, and just getting to learn and have a coach that would support me along the way. That was something that I was really interested in. And so I'm so happy that I applied and have gone through the year and have learned so much.
So I'm posting all these comments from your colleagues.
Oh, yay.
So what has been your favorite part? Like what one thing you've done in Voyager, like really you feel like has helped change your classroom for the better throughout this year?
I think giving students the opportunity to just create. I think we've done a lot of video projects this year, and you were there to help us on one day learn how to use a green screen that I just went to Michael's and bought 4 pieces of green paper for like $2 each and created a little green screen, and it worked out great, and you were there to help along the way. So using my own imagination to help my students use their imagination was just so awesome, and I loved that. So I think doing like our Dynasty News project for our Ancient China unit, that was something that really stood out, but also just allowing them to share their voice using Flipgrid and different video platforms as well. That was something that just made it so that they could show me what they had learned in a way that's not just filling in answers. I did not give one single social studies test this year because to me, it was all about just letting them tell me what they learned versus memorizing facts and spitting them out to me.
Yeah, and I know you and I have very different coaching sessions. we have a lot of discussions about, you know, the way that school should be or how it is with students. And I've noticed that throughout the year, you've kind of done this like step at a time, and you make sure that you've gone through the whole motions of like, you know, I want to work on my playlist. I want to make sure that everything they're doing on their playlist is high quality and they have a lot of choice that goes along with it. And I think you've been very methodical kind of in how you do these different parts of blended learning in your class. And whenever I would come in to coach, you'd always have such great questions. So I did want to tell you that, like, you know, and embarrass you. Even
they ended up being mostly like vet sessions. So I appreciate you for being there to listen to all of my big ideas that I didn't know how to narrow down, and you were there to help with that. And I really appreciate that.
It's so much fun. You know, when you don't have your own students, you have to like go and talk to teachers, and you get kind of jealous a little, but it's also exciting to know that like there's so many great teachers out there doing these things. So I'd like to thank you first of all for coming on. I was actually nervous to ask you because I was like, great, I have to go ask someone, hey, do you want to be on this live stream in front of a bunch of people where I ask you a series of questions? And you're like, yeah, I can't wait to be on the live stream. So I just want to thank you for being such a great person and coming on here and answering all these questions. So I look forward to having you and coaching you in fall of 2020, however that looks like. So, yeah. Anything
awesome.
else?
Thank you so much. You know, I just wanted to add that I think the biggest thing that I have learned this year is having flexibility with my students, but then also I've learned that I need to have more flexibility with myself and know that learning isn't always going to be something that's super quick and easy. And so I think just understanding that we have to be flexible with our students, but also flexible with ourselves while we're lifelong learners along the way. So I think just remembering that we can always be better and we can always grow. So yeah, I'm really thankful that you asked me to be on this. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. All right, well, enjoy the rest of the showcase. And let's cross my fingers you win the second raffle. How about that?
Perfect. Awesome.
All right, I'll talk to you soon, Summer.
All right, bye.
Okay, so let's see what we got coming up next. We have Lauren. She's going to come on and she's going to show us some more things we found on Twitter. I haven't even had a chance to look because they have me busy doing all this. So hey, Lauren, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you doing, Jason?
I'm very busy, but it's working out pretty well. So I think it's awesome. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for calling me awesome. I hadn't even thought about putting up comments that are congratulatory towards me, but maybe we'll start doing more of those.
Your favorite kind.
So whenever you're ready to share your screen, you can kind of load that up and I will put it up for you.
So first, I want to say thank you, everyone. This has been such an amazing experience seeing everyone really step up for their students and transition to distance learning. It's been amazing to see your work already throughout these past 2 years of Voyager, and now to see you apply all of these skills to distance learning has been really humbling and just such an honor to be a part of this process. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my first tweet from Miss Dogstill.
Oh, I got it. Oh.
Can you see it all there?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I wanted to start with this one. And first of all, I love the TSDogs hashtag name there, your username. Miss Dogstill has really pushed herself so much with student voice and choice. And it's something that you can tell anytime you're in her classroom that's something she truly honors. And she was already doing such an amazing job with her playlists. but she asked herself, what can I do more to even move towards more student-centered learning to learner-driven classrooms? So not only are students having voice and choice, but they're really in charge of what they're doing. They have say in how they're showing their learning. And she did that in her playlist by allowing students to decide how they were going to show their teacher and their classmates that they understood a concept. So rather than even just give them a choice of activity, she let them choose that. And that really open-ended type of learning really made her classroom so learner-driven and put her students in charge of their learning. So you can see an example in this tweet. She continued this in her distance learning classroom. Students were able to pick activities that they wanted to do. For instance, this student up here, they're showing their understanding of parts of speech through images. So rather than do a worksheet or an online activity, they decided that that's how they wanted to show their learning. We have another student over here who showed their understanding of non-literal language through illustrations. So maybe that student loves drawing, and so they were able to show their learning in the best way that they know how. So thank you, Ms. Dogstill. I know that you're always pushing yourself to do more for your students, and it really shows, and I know that your students appreciate that. So this next one I'm going to go to is Miss Glady. She had me tweet this out for her. She loves the Right Reader app, and her love for this app has only grown since we've gone into distance learning. It started with us introducing it to students in the classroom, and students have the option, her kindergartners, during voice and choice time to write using Right Reader. And some students would choose this, and some students would choose other apps or paper pencil, but allowed students to use this digital platform to enhance their writing skills. So for instance, this app allows students to phonetically type. So when they hit on a letter, they can hear that sound. It allows them to digitally search for images to go along with their books, and even to add their voice into the stories. With distance learning, she's allowed students to create books and send them to other family members to read. So really connecting her students and making sure that social emotional learning is happening as well. So awesome to see that from Miss Glady, and making sure that her kindergartners have lots of access as they're continuing their home learning. And I'm going to end on this one with Ms. DeClerc, because this is one of my last memories of being in the actual classroom, and I miss these students so much. This is one of the last times I was in her room, and we were able to do virtual reality with the Google Expedition kits. So some students have the opportunity to visit some of the places they learned about on national landmarks, memorials, and historical buildings. Her students were so excited to be using these Google Expedition kits to get them excited and engaged in learning about these historical landmarks. And it was just such a great time having them as part of this experience. So thank you, Ms. DeClerc, for leaving me one of the greatest memories, as we didn't know we weren't coming back to the classroom that soon. So thank you again for all of your hard work and continued support.
Awesome. All right. So thank you, Lauren, for showing all. Those were really great. So I just wanted to remind everyone, if you're wondering, well, what's the easiest way to find all these tweets? If you're on Twitter, whether it's on a phone or on your desktop or whatever, just make sure when you go to search, you can type in hashtag Voyager Showcase 2020 like this, and I went ahead and put that in the chat room and up here. So that makes it nice and easy. You can even search by the latest, so you're getting updated tweets from the get-go. So,
and I see something, I'm going to add something about the Right Reader app. Of course, I'm going to throw in a little coach moment here. It is a free app. I see a lot of people interested in wanting to learn more about that. If you're interested in Right Reader, you can go to rightreaderapp.com and sign up for a free account for you and your students.
All right. So thank you, Lauren. I'm going to bring Lana back on. And
Hey.
Hey. All right. I know that you have someone that you're going to be speaking to.
Yes, and we're also going to bring in Jennifer Brooks, if you could bring her in as well. I want to do a quick shout out to some of the people that are joining us on our virtual showcase. Thank you to Kimberly Renz, Doug Johnson, Kimmy Lochtefield, Steve Rigger, Laura Crow, Christine Pick, and of course we have our awesome superintendent, Marion Kim Phelps, who's joining us today. And so thank you for joining us today, everyone.
Welcome, Mr. Park. How are you?
Great. Thanks for the invitation. Wow, this is exciting. Ni hao, everyone.
We're so excited to have you. Thank you for joining us at our first virtual showcase. We wish we were doing this in person, but this is second best, and this may be a new way to do some different showcases. We're excited. It's been awesome so far. We love seeing everybody's posts. Keep them going. Don't forget to tweet. And so we have a few questions to ask you, Mr. Park.
Yes. First of all, welcome to my high-tech space, my learning environment.
It's awesome.
Awesome. So Eddie, can you tell us a little bit about how the Voyager program at Adobe Bluffs has impacted your teachers at the site?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know where to start. I think I think the Voyager program really enabled us to just be united, and our ecosystem of learning environment has just really been just intact from the primary grade level all the way up into 5th grade to for everyone's learning objectives to be similar. The environment, the flexible learning area is similar. You know, the ability to be able to navigate the tools that they have, the learning platforms that they have, it goes in alignment with the curriculum that we have. As you guys know, we have the foreign language program, immersion program, and many other programs that's highlighted. And you see 5th grade all the way down to kindergarten, you know. Again, it brings the community together and continuum of the kids know what they're going to do, you know, the year after it, the next, all the way to 5th grade. So I think that focus is one of the uniqueness of the Voyager program. And we love the Chromebooks, for sure. Thank you.
Awesome. So do you, how have you noticed a shift in the instructional practice for teachers participating in the Voyager? And maybe to piggyback on that, since we're now in distance learning, how has the Voyager program helped as you've shifted with students to distance learning?
Well, the shifting has turned into more of the flexibility and all the different options that are out there. Of course, you know, the teachers were able to have more of the be able to foster independence for kids in the classroom. Again, the different learning environment, the teachers to be able to differentiate instruction on an individual basis, and students know how to navigate the tools, like I said before. And those same kind of practice at school and at home, they're able to easily be able to transition over. And so, you know, with great coaching, like Coach Amy, with all our teachers, I mean, just fabulous job she did with our teachers. You know, they're not fearful at all, and they dove right in, and they were very, very comfortable. And when distance learning started, and on that March 13th, when Dr. Phelps announced that, you know, we were going to be closing, immediately on the 16th, that Monday, teachers and our students seamlessly were able to transition over and utilize all the tools that we've been using, you know, like Seesaw, videos, and I mean, you name it. The students were able to take access of it. And so distance learning hasn't been too much of an issue at Adobe Bluffs. It's been very smooth. Even though it was abrupt, it was a smooth transition in a way.
Excellent. What input, what advice do you have for new schools joining us this upcoming school year and to the Voyager program?
The advice is don't fear, jump right in, because you have amazing coaches at at Voyager program. And so these coaches will be right there with you, coaching you every step of the way. Your colleagues, you know, we were one of the first schools to join in, and you know, these teachers are able to support your colleagues along the way. And so, you know, I don't think there's nothing to be afraid of. It will make teaching a new revolution when you go inside the classroom with your kids. It will make their learning to another level.
Awesome,
so,
great.
Go for it.
Go for it, exactly. I just want to do a quick shout out, and then I know Lana has a question for you, Eddie, before we end. I wanted to do a shout out to board member Michelle O'Connor-Radcliffe. Thank you for joining. We saw your post a few minutes ago. We're excited that you're here. I also wanted to shout out to Associate Superintendent of Student Services, Greg Mizell. Mr. Lemaster, thank you for being here from RB. Doug Johnson, principal of, not Doug Johnson principal, but Doug Johnson, executive director. As well, joining us is the principal of Westwood Elementary. We're excited that you're all able to join us. So next question for you, Eddie. We gave you a little bit of a breather, but we've got a couple more for you.
Hey, Eddie, will you please share with us maybe a success story of a teacher that's participated in the Voyager program? We have so many. So many.
Yeah, no, I have so many at the school site, but one that comes to my mind is our kindergarten teacher. Her name, we lovingly call her J-Lo. We have a couple Julies. Her name is Julie Lowry. Veteran teacher, awesome teacher. She basically opened Adobe Bless back in 1992. And just an amazing teacher, a loving teacher, kind, compassionate teacher, and who is not afraid of challenges, you know. And, you know, our school's changing in many different ways. And so a couple of years ago, last year, she just dove right in, and basically she's doing classroom differently now. You have kindergarteners easily navigating through through Chromebooks, and Amy being right there with Miss Lowry, introducing all the different learning platforms for kids. I mean, it's so awesome to see on Fridays when I go into that kindergarten classroom, and the kids are videoing themselves on WeVideo, and you know, being able to launch that, and for Miss Lowry to be able to work with students individually and helping them learn through that kind of platform. And it's just such an amazing things to see. And she recently wrote an email to you guys about how thankful she was that she's joined the group. And you know, now it's part of her life, you know, in terms of teaching is concerned. And she definitely is not moving away from it, but enhancing it more and more. So during this distance learning time, you know, she's got all the playlist in place. The kids are able to independently work through it, and so that's just such a success story, and that, you know, she's reverberating through other colleagues, and other colleagues are wanting to join. And so, you know, I'm letting you know right now, Adobe Bless has more people wanting to join this program. We're almost there. All of us are almost trained.
Awesome. Well, Eddie, we appreciate you, and we appreciate you being here and all of the support as we have worked with you the last few years. You've been amazing. Your teachers have been amazing. All of the teachers in the Voyager program and in PUSD are doing amazing things. So thank you for joining us on our first virtual showcase.
Thank you for inviting me. You guys are awesome. You guys are just such a jewel to our district. Thank you so much for your support. Continue. Thank you.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, so thank you. So we're gonna bring on Mike Gizzo. He's got another teacher to talk to. So I'm gonna get him on the stream right here. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Oh, well, again.
What's that?
Still going well.
Still
going well.
You're still standing. Like, I can't believe it. I haven't been that long. So that's pretty impressive.
I stand up desk because I can only work from my couch so long.
And there's too many chips on it. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. So let's bring Katie on. And there she is. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Katie. All right. So first, Katie, thank you so much for joining us. You are on YouTube live being streamed out. So we will just kind of have a little conversation about Voyager. But first, to get started, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you teach, how many years you've been teaching, maybe, if you want to, what subjects you teach and all that?
Sure. So I'm at Poway High. So I am one of the 5 teachers that kind of blazed into this as high school, and trying to kind of cut the path through Voyager with high school being what it is. And so I teach English. So this year I taught AP English Language, which is for juniors, and then sophomore. And this year we had this experimental sophomore ELL collaboration class. So like the special ed model, there were 2 of us in the room with an ELL. Half the kids were ELL and half the kids were not ELL. And so that's what I do this year. I also do speech and debate, and I'm the English department chair. So many hats.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And as Katie said, this is the first year that we've moved Voyager into a high school. And so Katie is one of the 5 teachers that were in our first cohort. I'm interested in that ELL collab class that you just mentioned. Could you tell me how Voyager might have impacted student learning for the students in that class?
Yeah, that's actually where I did sort of more of my experimentation, I think, just with AP language being what it is, it was a little harder to figure out kind of how to throw them into this choice situation, especially early on. But with the ELL kids, it was like, all right, experimenting with you feels a little wrong, but we're going to try this out. And so at some point, and my partner teacher is a goddess among humans. She let me do whatever I wanted. Much trust, this one. And so at one point we did a unit entirely through Canvas. So there was no stand-up teaching that happened. There was no me at the front of the room, them listening to me. Every single activity, every single story, every single assignment, all of the learning happened through the Canvas environment. And in reflection, there's a lot about that I would do differently. There's a communal aspect to story reading I think that ELL kids really need. But and this is part of what I tweeted about just now, that Jill and I just had a conversation because she has those students now on their own in like their 3rd trimester ELL support class. And she shared with me that those kids are absolutely killing it in distance learning because we were the first ones to ever teach them how to use Canvas, where to click, how things work, because they don't have regular access to these, to Wi-Fi and to devices. And so to put a device in their hand every single day and teach them how to use it is going to, I think, have lasting effects on them. She says it's dominoing into their other classes too. So just taking the time, and we literally ran circles around the classroom, click here, do this, and troubleshooting with them and teaching it how it worked. And that seems so silly, like to teach a kid where to click, but it's going to be huge for them because now they can focus on learning instead of, I don't understand how this website works, I can't use it.
That is awesome. That's really good to hear. And that kind of bridged right into my second question you may have partially answered, but and 2 sides. So, moving into the distance learning environment, you talked a little bit about how that prepared those students specifically for the distance learning environment. How do you think the Voyager program prepared yourself as a teacher to move into distance learning?
Oh, I'm so glad I did Voyager. I even emailed my principal and said, thank you for letting me volunteer myself into this, because it allowed me to experiment in ways I don't think I would have. And I don't think, because previous to this, I would have had to sign up pretty well in advance to get a classroom full of computers or to take my kids physically to a computer lab. And sometimes when you want to experiment and you come up with an idea at like 10 o'clock at night, you're not going to get those computers. And so there's not being able to put the energy into that is like, well, do I save it? But I need to do it right now. So having the computers physically in the classroom meant that I was doing a lot more experimentation. I was clicking around on things and trying to figure out how things work. So number one completely was figuring out how to assign a Google document to my kids. Just simply learning how to give them a handout digitally, huge for this process, especially now that the AP exam is in literally a week from today. Being able to continue to have my AP kids do practice in a way that's meaningful with some structure has been huge. And so I think for me, I already had kind of worked out a bunch of the kinks. So this felt my transition was very easy. I feel really lucky.
Great. And do you feel that that's helped like your team, like you teach English, has that helped your team as a whole, other teachers at Poway High? Because it's a small cohort, right? But you know, what's the breadth of that impact?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know amongst the 5 of us, we've kind of all sort of radiated out into our departments. And I know that, so Satin and I are on the American Lit team, and we were all only 5 days into American Lit 2 trying to redo the junior paper. We changed the prompt completely from what it's been for like, I don't even know, 20 years. And so Satin and I both are kind of like, guys, I think we could do this, but it's going to take some tinkering. And so that's been helpful. And then I spent those weeks that we were like not doing things with kids, you know, doing optional things. I spent all of my energy helping my staff. So I had put together a ton of just, you know, videos and a Google slide deck and materials for them to help navigate Canvas for those that had never had the opportunity to really do a deep dive into Canvas. So I definitely helped. I think I helped. I hope I helped my staff at least figure out.
I hear that you did, Katie. So don't worry. There. There's rumors circulating for sure. So just one more question, and this is kind of broader. So as you know, like next year we'll be adding some more teachers at Poway High, and you know, we are hoping to continue to expand at the high school level, especially. So do you have any major takeaways from your first year in Voyager that you want to share with any other high school teachers that might be interested in participating?
I think, and this I maybe, and I'm sure I'll get a text about it on my other screen over here from my others that are watching. But I think our biggest takeaway, because we've all kind of talked about this, is because the Voyager program was really clear about kind of its sort of 3-pronged approach. And for us in high school, the flexible seating thing is hard. And I think, I don't know, I mean, I guess maybe I speak only for myself, but the feeling of guilt of not being able to kind of really always do that. I mean, I do move my seats around into groups and stuff, but it's not quite the same. And so I think for high school teachers, it's more about, you know, experiment where you can experiment and make the choices that you can make that are going to work sort of within the parameters of what you're trying to accomplish. I mean, I put all of my energy into blending my learning and way less of my energy into the flexible seating, because you've seen my classroom.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my advice is just, you know, use the parts that you can use, because those are the ones that are going to work for you and you can really own, and there's going to be meaning behind it, and not doing things, you know, quickly just because that's what feels like you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And what I've seen in terms of like your integration, like kind of expanding on student choice and student voice in their learning has made a big difference, and I think will continue to make a big difference, because in the end, right, we want to give students more voice and choice in their learning, and we want them, you know, to feel like to empower them and feel like they're part of their learning. And I think you're doing an amazing job of that. So I want to thank you, all of my Poway High teachers. I want to thank you all, because you've all done amazing this year, especially being patient with me. Which is an accomplishment in itself for sure. So Katie, thanks for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. And thanks for sharing.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, no problem. And I believe Jason is going to come back out, or may not. I can share a couple more tweets if we need to, Jason.
No. I just
really lost track of time.
I just wanted to see if you would have gotten a little flustered there. I don't get any time to really mess with you anymore, so I have to do it virtually. So
that's true.
You understand. Okay, so we're gonna actually bring Brenda on, because she's been checking out Twitter as well. And there's Brenda. Mike, if you remember her. Yeah,
it's been so long.
Yeah, she's going to be showing some things she's found on Twitter.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Just checking out a few different things. I think I'm going to start here with, okay. We have already.
Let me know when you're ready.
I think, well, I lost it here.
Yeah.
Getting lost in all kinds of, so many good things happening out here. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to jump over here to one of the Canyon View Voyager teachers, Sam Yellen. I've been tweeting out all kinds of stuff today, Sam. It's awesome. I love this one. Just 10 minutes ago, another Voyager teacher taught me how to add a Bitmoji to Seesaw. I know Samantha's been doing a ton of work in Seesaw with her kids. And just finding ways to really try and make things interactive. I'll scroll down and show you a few of those, but what a great opportunity tonight, this Voyager virtual showcase for our Voyager teachers to reconnect with each other and have this opportunity to learn a few new things as we're going through. Those VR goggles, again, that was an awesome day. There's nothing better than the kids using those the first time and just all the oohs and ahs that are happening. I love this one as well from Sam, Voice and Choice in Their Learning. They took a virtual trip to the San Diego Zoo and shared about some different animals that interested them. I know too that Samantha's been working on some more interactive pieces within Seesaw. So drag and drop features for students. I know there's also a scratch and read. So students are scratching off and finding different opportunities for learning on Seesaw. I know she's also been working with her team on voice and choice boards to increase student learning opportunities and continuing to make sure that they have that voice and choice in distance learning as well. I also have a 4th and 5th grade teacher, Kathy Lachel at Highland Ranch, has been sharing a lot of the work that she and her students have been doing this year in Voyager. And a lot of different kind of mashups, so using more than one app or program for students to share their learning and providing that choice in there. It's a Colonial Town project. They used Minecraft and WeVideo. I know that Kathy's been doing a lot with video this year with her students. They've even been using the Chrome Music Lab app to create their own music and using that in the background for some of their videos that they're creating, which has been amazing. One of the first projects she did this year was on in 5th grade states and capitals, but she flipped it around a little bit and the kids turned it into some TED Talks that were awesome and explored current challenges in states or events that had had a large impact on their states. And the kids really enjoyed that opportunity. I also have a Pomerado teacher, Melanie Lieber, and she did a design thinking project with her students this year. They were complaining about how uncomfortable their headphones were. So they partnered up and they redesigned headphones for each other. One of the greatest days for me this year in a classroom, and there were a ton of them, but one of the greatest ones was watching her kids interview each other to find out what it was that they would want in their headphones, and just the empathy building and the connections that the students were making were awesome. Are we, Jason, how are we doing on time here?
You're fine.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you might want to stop sharing. That's enough sharing. Okay. No, we're good. So thank you. That was awesome. Going through all those. So did you have fun?
I did. It's awesome to see how many things are happening.
I was excited to see if someone was going to show the vortex of the stream.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Into this end. So I'm glad it was you. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Well, we flipped a coin.
All right. Thank you, Brenda, for doing that.
You bet. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to bring on Amy because Amy has someone she's going to be speaking to. Who are you going to be speaking to, Amy?
Yes. Well, we thought we would swing the pendulum and go from a high school classroom all the way down to a kindergarten classroom. So we'll be interviewing Kristen Kapitsky, and she's a kindergarten teacher from Adobe Bluffs.
All right. Well, let's see if she's here. Oh, she is.
There she is. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Amy?
Doing well, thanks. Thank you for coming on with us. We're excited to have you. So can you just, again, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about why you decided to be part of the Voyager program?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kristen Kapitsky, and I teach at Adobe Bluffs Elementary in kindergarten, and this is my 3rd year. One of the reasons I wanted to do this, actually, this is our 2nd Voyager year at Adobe Bluffs, and my partner teacher, one that Mr. Park brought up earlier, Julie Lowry, did the program last year, and because of that, it really encouraged me to want to be a part of it. It was amazing what she was learning and what she was sharing for me, and I just wanted to dive deeper in it. And now that I'm starting my career as a teacher, this is, like I said, my 3rd year, I just want to keep enhancing that and building on that to see where I can go and all the different things I can achieve using this program. And I think it's so important in this 21st century learning to start them at a kindergarten level, because it's amazing what they can do. And I think we've seen that. I know Amy and I have seen it a lot, and sometimes they even surprised us with all the skills they already had. And I was teaching them thinking they know more than I'm teaching them right now.
Yeah. So going off of that, how has being part of this program sort of impacted and changed the way you kind of approach teaching?
I think in my first 2 years, especially kind of going through the PPAP program and all that, you're so focused on what you're doing and your teaching and your content and all of that. And that's so important. And that I forgot some of the other things like flexible seating and all the other things that Voyager has really made me more comfortable with. And especially with kindergartners, it was so hard from the beginning of the year to let go of some of that control. And so at the beginning of the year, it was still like, okay, no flexible seating. Let's see how they are first. What kind of class do I have? And then slowly inching out the flexible seating, slowly giving them more voice and choice, slowly giving them playlists. And so it started for me, it's been a huge change. And so before it was very structured and very routine. And now when we got to the March, when we left, it finally got to where it was a little more flexible for them. And I was so excited for what was to come now that they were starting to get comfortable choosing their own seats and choosing kind of their own way of learning to see where they could go. And then unfortunately with all this, it's been a different change, but honestly, because they already had this background of using websites like Seesaw, like Right Reader, Freckle, all of these amazing websites, it's led to a very smooth transition into distance learning.
So are there some things that you've been doing in your distance learning classroom that were kind of routines and other types of activities that you were able to transition from the traditional classroom when you had it now to the distance learning classroom?
We've done a lot. Seesaw has been amazing. That's actually mostly my platform that parents and students send in their assignments each day. So each day I go on and check my Seesaw, and I have sometimes up to 100 different assignments they're winning, and I provide feedback to every single one. But also it's just trying to create some new and exciting ones. So some of our other assignments for writing, it's not just going to be a normal, okay, write a sentence and then send me a picture of it. How about create a story? Find something you're passionate about. We're starting to get into like how-to books. And normally in the classroom, it's like creating their own book. Now let's see if we can change that, do it on Right Reader and see what kind of story can you create. And it makes them so much more excited and a lot more engaged than just sitting there with pencil and pen. But now they get to do something a little different, and they're going to create their own story, and they take pride in that. And so they really do a great job. They find great pictures that are showing what they're trying to learn. They're doing great with their phonetic spelling, and they're really stretching out those sounds. So it's been a great experience in Right Reader. We've been utilizing a lot of different resources there that I learned with you, Amy, and then they were able to take that into distance learning. And I think it helped the families as well, because the kids were already familiar with it. So the kids were then teaching the parents to help make them more comfortable with it.
So do you have any advice that you'd give for teachers who are considering, becoming part of the Voyager program?
I would say do it. I mean, plain and simple. I was very nervous at the beginning. Like I said, especially with kindergartners, you sometimes want to hold on to the reins. And there was a part of me that would get, anxious if I had another teacher come in the room. My classroom looked crazy. You have kids working in small groups over here, or working by themselves, or on a device here, but doing something else here. And it was like knowing, wait, they're all on task. They're all doing what they need to do. And that's okay. It's okay that every student has a different learning style. And I think that's what this Voyager program is really about, is it's encompassing that. And it's making it so that you don't go back to the old way of teaching of just every child learns the exact same way, but giving them that choice. And the amazing part about it is that this Voyager program really helps you at the level you're at. So I know you and I, Amy, we were always talking and communicating. It's like, okay, I think my kids would do great with this. What do you think? She's like, and you kept saying, yeah, they'd be great at that. Or maybe you could try a little harder. They're starting to get this. It's like, okay, that would be great. And so it's really good knowing that you have someone there as like a cheerleader and an assistant that's kind of helping you along the way. And for that, I'm so thankful for everything you've done to help me in my class. And so for all the teachers out there who are thinking about doing it, it's a great, great program. And it really helps get our kids excited about using technology.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it's been wonderful being in your classroom all year long and watching you grow and take risk. And, it's again, a great experience for us as well. So thank you for that. And thank you to all the Voyager participants out there. Again, as I had just stated, it is just as impactful for us being able to watch you grow as a professional and know that we are supporting you in any way that we can. So thanks so much, Kristen, and keep being amazing.
Thank you so much, Amy. Thanks for all your help and assistance.
Absolutely. So Jason, I think, is going to come on in a minute, and I think we're going to do one more raffle, if I'm not mistaken, Jason.
Sorry, I was doing something. So
that's all right. That's all right. I know you're busy back there.
We actually have a really big raffle. So I'm going to bring Lana on, and she's going to tell us a bit about what we are raffling off right now.
Hey everyone. So before I announce the very final raffle for our live event, I do want to remind anyone who joined in a little bit late, if you tweet and use our Voyager Showcase 2020 hashtag, we still have other raffle prizes that we'll be raffling off. And what we'll do is we'll announce it via Twitter at a later time. So please, 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 you have until 6 p.m. to tweet, whether it's a shout out to another Voyager teacher or to share something about tonight's event. We'd love to hear from you. And please don't forget to use the hashtag Voyager Showcase 2020. So before we announce our final winner, we'd like to share our sponsor is Vision Company, and they are donating an awesome Nora Nivel soft seating option that can go for your blended learning classroom. It's valued at $400. So the winner is, jump to that screen, Jason. We have Brielle DeClerc. She is our winner of this awesome prize. And remember, we will have more prizes later on this evening, so please tweet by 6 p.m. So thank you. Now we can have Jennifer jump on so she can close out our evening. It's been such an awesome night. And so I can't believe it's already 5:40. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi. Oh, I was waiting for you to come back on, Jason.
Oh, well, yes, I agree. Yeah, but I'm actually going to take myself off so you guys can give your goodbyes. Let us know if you need any of us to come back on. We'd love to say goodbye as well.
Sounds good. Well, I want to thank everybody. First, I want to thank the superintendent for bringing the Voyager program and her vision to Poway Unified. We are so excited to be part of that. I want to thank everybody who's been supportive of this program, who has provided input and insight, the schools, the principals, everybody, all of the teachers who participated. We want to thank you for joining us today on our first ever virtual Voyager showcase. So it was amazing to read all of the posts and all of the tweets. It filled my heart. And I think I speak for the coaches and Lana and myself. This was amazing. We weren't sure what it was going to be like. We said, let's try this out. I think none of us weren't sure entirely, but we love this, and we may just have to do this again at some point, because I love seeing, even though we didn't see everyone's face, I love seeing all the posts and the tweets and the live post, and seeing those up on the screen. It really filled my heart to do that. For all of the Voyager teachers, past, present, and future, thank you for joining and jumping into the Voyager program, for trusting us to come into your classroom. Principals, thank you for trusting us to be part of your vision for your school. We are honored and so appreciative to be part of that. So without further ado, we are going to close this out. We do, as Lana said, have more raffles. So please make sure that if you hadn't had a chance to get your tweet in and use the hashtag, that you do that. We wish you well. We have missed seeing all of you, as we know that you have probably felt the same with students and so forth, but the things that you're doing with distance learning, I just want to share that appreciation. It's been incredible. And so thank you for everything. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you to the coaches. You have made the Voyager program so much of what it is by your patience, your supportive nature, your innovation. So thank you for all that you do, coaches, and Lana for that vision as well of supporting the EdTech program. All of the IT team, everybody who is part of this. So I feel like I could go on, and I'm just giving like an Academy Award speech, and there's this long list of people to say thank you to, but it really is a collaborative effort on all PUSD. So thank you, Team PUSD. Thank you for everybody who was here today. This was amazing, and I leave with just such a warm heart, and it was just an amazing event. And I cannot believe how quickly this hour and 15 minutes went by. I really cannot. I'm just shocked. So keep doing the amazing things that you're doing. And we just thank you for this wonderful evening. So that is it. Is Jason coming on? I wanted to.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I'm going to bring on. Yeah, I'm going to bring on all the coaches so they can say goodbye as well. So Lana and Jennifer, thank you. So I'm going to send you away. I'm sorry. I have to do that. All right. So let's see. Oh, Mike. Hey, how's it going? Brenda. There's
Hello.
Brenda, and Amy and Lauren.
Hello.
So, all right. So I just wanted to say thank you all for coming. Thank you for posting your projects. I obviously haven't gotten as much time to look through them. So I'm really excited to get to actually look through Twitter and see everything you've been doing. I recommend all Voyager teachers do the same.
Yeah, thank you everybody that came, and everyone that participated, teachers especially, for putting your trust in us and just going out on a limb and trying new thing after new thing, and knowing that sometimes it's amazing and sometimes it needs to be improved, and we're just going to keep doing what we can. So thank you to everybody. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us tonight, and it's so great to see everything. I don't know what more I can say. Thank you. It's awesome. We miss you all and those kiddos.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is we really miss you all. So please, although we're not physically in your classrooms anymore, please do not hesitate to continue to reach out to us.
It was great seeing all these comments tonight, and knowing that we could end this on a sweet note and be able to share all the hard work that we did this year, even though we can't do it in person. So thank you, everyone.
Yep. All right, guys.
Bye.
Take off.
Bye.
Yep.